your bread of life. That's how I come alive. That's how I change my world. Father, to join from your spirit to my spirit, I am lighted by your word. And with your breath of life, that's how I come alive. That's how I change my world. Just breathe your name upon me, breathe. Just breathe your name upon me, breathe. Yod Hey Wah Hey is your name, breathe, Lord. Just breathe your name upon me, breathe.
To pray 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Another church is holding his own 10 o'clock to 12 noon. Another is holding his own 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. Another one is coming 3 p.m. Oh, they will now go back to Bible study again by 5 or 6 p.m. And they said, oh, why is God not answering my prayer? God have answered your prayer. But until you position yourself, until you do what is necessary, that increase may not come. The breakthrough may not come. The breakthrough may not come. We're going to look at just one example under these studies, and I believe God will quicken our understanding to have full understanding of what we are trying to teach or what we are trying to learn today. And my example will be in the book of Ruth. Ruth, you can read chapter 1, chapter 2. You know the story of Ruth. Both Naomi and Ruth had been through some things. But by the beginning of chapter 2, if you study Ruth chapter 1, the Bible says Naomi and his family, the husband and 2 children, there was famine in the land of promise. They now have to leave the land of promise to Moab. And you know the story. They got there. Initially things were better, but things turned around again. And there, Naomi things are better now at the promised land. And he decided to return. But you know the story. He called the 2 daughters of the dead 2 sons and said, go back to your people. But Ruth made up her mind. She made up her mind to position herself. She made up her mind and said, no, I'm married to you, I'm married to you. I am going all out with you. I am not going back to my cursed generation again. I am going with you to that city. And after several persuasions, and Ruth refused, Naomi agreed. And when you get to chapter 2, the writer of Ruth wants us to know that everything was getting ready to turn around because there was a blessing and breakthrough waiting for them. If you study the book of Ruth, in the book of Ruth chapter 2, Ruth chapter 2, let's look at that look, because that will be, especially chapter 2, will be where we are going tonight. Ruth chapter 2. And the Bible says in verse 1, Naomi had a kinsman of her husband, a mighty man of wealth of the family of Elimelech, and his name was Boaz. And Ruth the Moabite said unto Naomi, let me now go to the field and glean ears of corn after him, in whose sight I shall find grace. And she said unto her, go, my daughter. When we look at this story, what are the things we need to learn to position ourselves for that increase, for that breakthrough, for that answer to your prayer request? Number one, the writer said that Naomi had a male relative that was kin to her deceased husband Elimelech, whose name was Boaz. Naomi had a male relative that could bring them out of economic instability. But before that could happen, they had to first position themselves. They have to first position themselves. That was why Ruth, when they heard about Boaz, Ruth decided, he told her mother-in-law, allow me to go to the field and glean ears of corn after him. That's verse 2. In whose sight I shall find grace. And he said unto her, go, my daughter. And Ruth went. What are the lessons for us to learn? How do I get into position? This is where we are going tonight. We are looking at position for increase. Looking at the story of Ruth. How do I get into position? Number one, do something. Do something. Don't just fold your hand. Do something. If God has given you good heads, hands, foot, do something. It may not be what exactly you want, but don't just sit down. A lot of Christians today just sit down. I know some just go to church and pray. Prayer is very good. And I want to assure you of one thing. God answers prayers. But for that prayer answer to manifest, you must do something. The first point is a very simple one. But I think someone still needs to hear this. And that is, if you want to position yourself for an increase, for a blessing, then you have to do something. Just as we read in Ruth chapter 2, verses 2 and 3. And verse 3, the Bible says, and she went and came and gleaned in the field after the reapers. And Ahab was to light on a part of the field belonging unto Boaz, who was of the kindred of Elimelech. Ruth did something. She took action. She did not say, well, I don't know anybody in this place. I am waiting for my mother-in-law to take me to Boaz and introduce me. But she made up her mind. If this man is your kinsman, let me go to his farm and do something. She started doing something. What are you doing with your life? You want to position yourself for increase. What are you really doing with your life? A lot of people prefer to sit down. A lot of people prefer to lean on people. Listen to me. If those people that you are depending upon, if they are doing nothing, where are they going to get what they are giving to you? Do something. Don't just fold your arm. Nigeria is bad. Nigeria is bad. Oh, well, some people are doing something and they are getting better. What about you? Start. And Ruth said, let me go. And she went to the farm of Boaz to glean. And not just doing something, do it with a good work ethic. We discovered this in the life of Ruth. She was a stranger in Boaz's farm. But she didn't say, well, as a stranger. She worked with a good ethic. Many of the so-called Christians today, many are not doing well, even in their places of work. If you are lazy in your work, or you don't have good ethic with that work, how will God bless you? It is possible in your place of work. The one God has prepared to bless you is there, but He's watching how you are behaving. He's watching the way what you put into that work. You see, when we look at the life of Ruth, the second lesson Ruth teaches us is that if you want to position yourself for increase or a blessing, is that not only must you do something, but you have to do what you do and do it with a good work ethic. You can't expect God for a blessing and a breakthrough and remain lazy. No. A lot of children of God today are lazy. They are lazy. So when they are looking for job, you see them behaving like a gentle or humble person. But the moment they secure the job, they become lazy in the work. You cannot be lazy in your work and expect God to bless you. You are supposed to resume by 8, but you are going by 9. Some, they always have one complaint or the other, yet they are waiting for God's blessing. Proverbs chapter 12. Proverbs chapter 12, verse 24. Proverbs chapter 12, verse 24 says, the hand of the diligent shall bear rule, but the slothful shall be under tribute. The hand of the diligent. A lot of eye service.
Hey, God, we give you praise. We are redeemed. United in love. Jesus is for us.
Jesus is for us.
We shall conquer.
We shall conquer.
We are together.
We are together.
United in love. Jesus is for us.
Jesus is for us.
We shall conquer.
We shall conquer.
We are victorious.
We are victorious.
United in love. Jesus is for us.
Jesus is for us.
We shall conquer.
We shall conquer.
Covenant children. United in love. Jesus is